Welcome to Slasher Sunday. So, last night I went on, if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I tried to do a Slasher Sunday last night on a different film, and a couple things happened. Number one, I went to a website to look for lesser known slashers, because I'm kind of running low on slashers to do for the channel, and I found a film called Sorority Babes in the Slime Ball Bolorama. And it was a film that I've always wanted to see, along with Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Both of those titles have always been funny to me, but I had just never seen them. And when I saw that on that list, I was like, that's a slasher? Oh, I didn't think that was a slasher, but okay, cool. And it was on Shudder, so I watched it. And while watching it, it was like, this isn't a slasher at all. This is a monster movie, a really dumbass monster movie. Still had fun with it for sure, and I'll probably still review it at some point. But technically, I did already review it last night, and I had somehow not hit record for a 20-plus minute review. So I recorded this whole review for a movie that wasn't even a slasher, for Slasher Sunday, explaining that it really wasn't a slasher. So I guess fate wouldn't even allow me to review it as a Slasher Sunday. So now I'll just have to do it. I'm not doing it as a Monster Monday. Although I could do it for Monster Monday next week. That would work.
Yeah.
Whatever. But that was a series of unfortunate events. And then we watched Slumber Party Massacre tonight, and that was a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah.
So,
one way to put it.
Okay, we'll give our initial thoughts really quick, but this is Slasher Sunday, so we will be getting into full spoiler discussion here. But if you just want our initial thoughts, it's no. A big, absolute, don't waste your time.
Don't do it.
There's nothing interesting about this film. I will tell you the literal only thing, and you could consider this a spoiler, I don't care, because I'm just saving you 90 minutes of your fucking life. If you're a fan of Slumber Party Massacre 2, like Kaylee is, yeah, and like myself, you were hoping you would see a homage to Slumber Party Massacre 2.
Yeah.
And we do get one.
Yes.
And that is by far and away the best thing about this movie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And it wasn't even that great.
No.
I mean, it was cool to see.
Yes.
And I'm very happy to have seen it, because I was like, they better have something. And they do. So that's cool. But this film is just awful.
So bad.
Like,
it is so bad.
I think they were going for some meta comedy that was like trying to point out the like misogyny of slashers, and that these girls were going to be smarter and we're going to fight back against the stereotypes. And what happened though is that they actually appeared even dumber. It was almost an insult to characters like that for a film that was trying to kind of give power back to characters like this. So it was a miserable fail on that. Just honestly, like, awful in almost every imaginable way. And I'm going to get into all of that. We will in this discussion, the spoiler part. But wow, what a god-awful film. So
it was a major disappointment for sure. We were both really excited for it, and
huge.
yeah, I mean, hoping that it was gonna be. It's weird because, like, with remakes of films, I feel like people either want to see, the exact same thing done, or like a cool twist. And this film didn't really do either of those things. I mean, they tried to do a unique twist on it, but I do feel like they failed pretty miserably with it. And a lot of it has to do with, like, the characters' decisions and like the writing and the dialogue.
Oh my god.
And then the acting of said writing and dialogue. None of it came together. All of it felt really forced, and it was, I mean, definitely like something that I felt like we had to push ourselves to finish.
Well, we also had to. So I spent a decent amount of my day trying to even watch this fucking thing because it is on the Syfy channel. And, you know, I didn't have access to the Syfy channel. And I was like, okay, how am I going to watch this? Because I could watch Chucky and I could watch Day of the Dead, but for some reason I couldn't watch this without a TV provider. And I was like, well, I don't have a fucking TV provider. Is there anywhere else I can watch this? And I looked and I looked and I couldn't find it. And then I realized that, you know, we have Sling because I watched the Cardinals games and the Suns games. And I was like, oh, you can get it on through there. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I finally got all that inputted. Then we put it on my Xbox and we got commercials like every fucking 5 to 10 minutes. They were so long, and the very first couple of them would freeze it and it would just buffer forever. And I tried to like load it onto the Apple TV, and I tried. It took almost 2.5 hours to watch this hour-and-a-half movie.
Yeah.
And so that adds enormous insult to injury here, right? Like, it's a movie, and I have access to watch Dune right now, which is one of probably my top 5 most anticipated films of the year, and I probably won't be surprised at all if it ends up being my favorite film of the year. And I put it off, and the amount of time it took us to watch this is the amount of time that Dune is.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, sacrificing all that time when I could have been watching Dune, but I wanted to do this for Slasher Sunday, and we were both excited. We just sat down, we watched, you know, the other Slumber Party Massacre films, and we had a good time with them. You know, they vary in quality, 2 obviously being, you know, the best by
Superior,
far, the masterpiece.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, even 3, which is definitely the weakest of the original trilogy, is far superior to this film.
Yes.
I
agree.
Far superior.
I agree.
And 3's not even that good. So, if that gives you any indication. Anyways, we're going to get into spoilers now. This was a failure on almost every level imaginable. I hated the characters. And that's another thing. I mean, in the past, I mean, I've talked about this on the channel a lot throughout all the years that I've been doing the Slasher Sunday thing. I always talk about that there's some kind of formula to these. And I feel like this specific franchise really embraces a couple of those things. One of which, of course, is nudity. Female nudity. It's gratuitous as fuck in the other films. And, okay. I'll get into spoilers, so let's get into spoilers right now. I'm fine with the whole role reversal on the gratuitous nudity here. You know, it's men now that are shirtless and hitting each other with pillows and shit. And then, you know, we're seeing them in shower sequences, and it's the girls that kind of get to steer away from that for this time. Okay, fine. That's fine. Why this guy's ass was blurred out was really weird.
I have no idea what that was about. Like, was this supposed to air on television, or...
But how can you show, like, a guy getting a fucking drill through the chest, and it's coming out his chest, and then another guy gets, like, this guitar thing wrapped around the drill, and it takes his whole face off, and he falls down, his face is mutilated.
Yeah.
You can show that, but you can't show the guy's ass, but then you can show the guy's ass as long as it's slightly covered by CGI steam from the hot shower, but you can still see it's his ass.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I don't understand that at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to come at this as real as I can be with this franchise. It's like, this franchise for me was always watching hot babes getting naked and getting killed. And that is just not here.
No,
at all.
But that is because they are trying to do this like role
They're trying to
reversal,
play it,
and
yeah.
it's also supposed to be like this commentary on the slasher genre and on female nudity and I guess what they, assume is stereotyping or something. But like we were talking about during the movie, I mean, pretty much every slasher movie or film has a final girl in it, and there's always a female character that's besting the killer, that's the smartest one, or whatever it is, and the men are always, like you said, killed the most horribly and kind of made to be some type of an idiot. So with this, I feel like they were really trying to go for that, and it was just so forced and so like in your face that it made it very unenjoyable for me.
Yeah.
And it's not even that I would, not like to see something like that. It's just that the way that they went about this was
could they have pulled
forced.
this off in the way they wanted to and made it successful? Sure. Yeah, it's possible. You have to be really witty. There'd have to be much, much better writing going on in here to kind of try to have this statement. And as I said, I don't mind if it's flipped, because how often do girls get to see dudes taking their clothes off in these movies as opposed, or men, if that's,
sure,
whatever. But that's just that. So that I don't care about that. I don't need there to be hot naked chicks in this movie. What I really do need, though, is better characters.
Yes.
And also better kills.
Yes.
Kills are super uninspired, lame as fuck, and we might get like a moment of like a second here that's like, oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
Like the guy's face is mutilated, and I was like, that looks alright. Right?
Yeah.
We don't see it happening, so
No.
it's an aftermath death, which is like okay to me. I'm fine with aftermath gore, but it's nowhere near as high as like in the process of happening gore. I want to see it happening to his face. But we should start at the beginning. So this movie starts in 1993. We've got this group of kids that are all but one of them murdered. We've got this tough guy gangster dude who's in the opening who was banging the main girl, who ends up being the mom. And then she finds out that she was cheating on her. I instantly called it's with one of the friends. You knew that was coming. And then they all get killed pretty lamely. She gets a drill through the hand. She, knocks him off the dock. And he falls into the water. And there's some really cool shots of like the drill in the water floating, and it says Slumber Party Massacre on the thing, and I was like, alright, the opening was kind of lame, but I like this credits sequence.
Yeah.
I thought it was alright, and I was like, alright, we'll see. And then we jump up ahead to now, 2021, I guess, and I kind of immediately had a feeling like when the girl came on screen and she looked like she was like 15, 16 years old, I was like, oh, this is not going to be the kind of Slumber Party Massacre that I'm used to or want. Like, I just knew it. Like, with this, I don't even want to see this girl naked. She looks like she looks like a kid. So, like, that immediately was like, oh no. Okay, so it's not going to be that kind of film. Fine. You're not going to have the nudity. You're not going to have the hot chicks. Fine. Then we got to really pack on the kills here for this film to, balance itself out from that. Because that is part of this franchise, And as I said, they do go for this meta thing where it's like, no, we're going to flip it. We're going to make it the guys, and we're going to make it that the girls are the tough ones and the smart ones and this and that. Although in this franchise, it's always the girls who are the ones that are besting the killers. I don't understand that commentary
pointless,
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's so many lines about like how later on though, like the feminism thing, like that they were like man haters or something, and just I don't know. It was really weird, and then a lot of the phallic discussion. But
Yeah, they definitely hit very hard on the whole phallic ideology, like that men are using their drills to penetrate women,
right?
That they're, dominating them with their tool, right? Like, I get it. I get it, but the way that it's done here, abysmal.
Yeah.
So
very, very poor.
we do get one. Okay, we do get a staple of the franchise here. We do get the guy watching the girls having a slumber party, dance sequence.
Yes.
And then he starts to jack himself off, sees Russ Thorne, yes, they retained the name, and he dresses exactly the same, and he acts exactly the same. Mm-hmm. So his character is not reinvented at all. He's just this dude in a, denim jacket with a drill who comes at them crazily and says, "I love you."
Yeah, and I mean, it's creepy. It's
creepy, but
the original definitely does it better.
It does it better, but here's the thing. If all you're successful with in your remake is aping from your predecessor, then it's a failure. Okay? So you can't be successful in what's already been successful and claim that as a success. That doesn't work. Like, we already found the "I love you" creepy from that guy.
Yes.
So when the guy just lifts it here and, regurgitates it in the exact same way as seen before, and that's the highlight of the killer, it's like, we did that. Yeah. And yeah, maybe if someone had never seen the original, they'd be like, "Ooh, that's kind of creepy."
Sure.
But that still doesn't negate that you're just taking it from the previous film that you're remaking and making that the highlight. So that's not okay. You can't have that be your only successful thing. But they did try to change it up. They did try to have some kind of a commentary. They went for more of the Scream approach, or that like really self-aware, we're the fucking dumb, I'm the hot girl. She puts in the fake breasts, and when the sister, which all of that stuff, every bit of logic in this is beyond stupid. Like, why would she let her sister come with them? Her young teenage sister, the one who's supposed to be the Courtney of the movie. Why would she let her come when they know what's about to happen? A. And B, they're prepared? Well, this is them prepared?
Like, I don't know anybody's names, but the main girl, she was kind of saying, it was supposed to be this, empowerment trip, so, I feel like that's the only explanation why. I mean, she talked everybody into letting the younger sister come, and was like, "No, it's fine, she just won't do any drugs," but they obviously don't do any drugs whatsoever. No. I don't know why they even say that, except to try and be funny, I guess.
But yeah, why would she talk her into it when she knows what they're going there to do? It's not like they spring it on her. See, that would kind of make sense-ish. Is like, we're taking you here, and they're trying to be like, "Hey, this has fucked your life up. We rented this cabin because this is where your mom," and she's like, "Oh my God, I knew this place." Now, granted, she should know that place, so that wouldn't make any sense, but I'm just trying to help the film in any way I can, but I don't think there's any saving this film. But yeah, okay, let's see. Let's move on from all of that. The movie definitely has a made-for-TV feel, but this is made-for-TV, so I guess it is appropriate. But in 2021, fucking television series don't even look made-for-TV anymore. So I don't really feel like that excuse is warranted. Like, the Chucky TV series doesn't feel made for TV. It feels like part of a Chucky movie.
Right, yeah.
So, no.
The feel of the film, coupled with all of the commercials we had to watch, definitely was like we're watching this on, cable.
Yes.
And that was,
that felt retro.
Sure,
that was the most retro thing about the film.
Very retro, but...
And... I'll tell you what, being attacked while you're sick to your stomach and vomiting would be horrible.
Yes,
would be horrible because to me, stomach aches are by far and away the most debilitating thing. Well, a really bad headache though. If you have a migraine, you genuinely can't function.
Oh God, yeah.
You don't even know what you can do. If a killer came in your house, be like, kill me. It'll take the pain away.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. Here. Make it quick.
It, come on.
Yeah, don't put me in any more pain. I don't know if you can.
Migraines are horrible.
Yeah. And the girl confessing to her friend that she fucked her boyfriend. Little, she's confessing her sins before her demise. This is, yet another typical trope, but do you feel like that's something you would do if you had a secret inside?
No, well, I feel like, she obviously feels guilty about it, which is why she's doing it, but I don't see how, I don't know. I don't know if I would tell that person that I think
it's ill-advised because I feel like you're rolling the dice in a moment in which you might need their help.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. And also just like, I don't know, I kind of feel like it's cruel almost to be like, hey, by the way, I did this really awful thing, and then they might die.
Well, it's kind of manipulative too, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is such a strong moment of like, us being in this horrible situation that like, you're almost bound to forgive me in the moment because like it seems so small potatoes in comparison.
Right.
So it's almost like psychologically manipulative.
I agree. And I think all of the relationships in this movie are so fake feeling. Like, none of them felt realistic.
No.
And I was honestly kind of comparing it to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, because both of them are sort of teen dramas or horrors. And the I Know What You Did Last Summer, like, all of those characters.
The TV series.
The TV series, sorry. They are so much more believable.
Absolutely. And people are shitting on that.
Which is...
So if you're shitting on that,
do
not watch this. Oh my God.
Don't do it.
Oh my God. You think that's bad? This is 1,000 times worse. That's actually intriguing to me and has some cool kills.
Yes.
And the characters feel like genuine friends. And there's some mystery to it that I'm interested in. And characters' decisions aren't completely abysmal. Like, this fucking film has so many moments where I'm just like, why would they do that? Yeah. These are supposed to be prepared girls.
Right, that's the other thing. Is
that should have been revealed in the last 10 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Where, like, they're like, we're actually prepared. And he could have been killing off the guys. And then in the last moment, they're like, oh no, motherfucker. We're flipping this on you. And then they just brutally murder him.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends. Or the mom shows up. The mom thing, this woman is not old enough to be this guy's mom. Okay? From the age of which he would have to have been in the beginning of the movie in 1993, you flash forward 28 years later, he'd have to be 50-ish. This mom would have to be 70. She's not 70. No. She's not 70. She's late 50s, early 60s. I mean, maybe out there she got pregnant at like 12. But that whole like thing of like the mother coming in and that was like my first initial reaction to seeing like that there was another killer. I was like, oh, it's the chick from the gas station.
Yeah.
You know, and my immediate reaction to that in my head was mom. And then I was like, no, this chick's not old enough to be the mom. So then I went and thought, okay, it could be kind of cool if they flipped that line of I love you into like she's killing for him because he loves her. And she's like, no one's ever loved me before.
Yeah.
And he loved me. You don't understand. He loves me. That would have been cool.
It would have been much better than the mom twist.
The mom twist is just dumb because it's not possible.
Right.
And it doesn't amount to anything.
No, it doesn't. And like I said when we were watching it felt like they were really going for like Friday the 13th. And it's just, it's gimmicky and it's pointless, honestly.
Yeah. It's just the mom thing. God damn it. Yeah. That one definitely was an eye roll and a half.
Yes.
But what can you do? I don't know. Her whole reasoning for why her son's killing, like, you guys should have just went to sleep. And what was he supposed to do? Yeah. You were tempting him. Tempting him? With what?
Like, again, it's kind
sexuality?
That's the thing, like,
and why is she poisoning him? This is I don't understand. Why is she poisoning them Is it supposed to be sleeping pills?
It's supposed to be some kind of like.
And then she ate so many of them, she got sick.
That they're all gonna eat like 1 or 2 of them, but she ate.
And that's gonna put them to sleep and save them,
right?
From him.
They would just be
maybe not rent the cabin to them where he,
option.
Is out killing people.
Yeah.
And where did they have a house rented? Or did they always mean to go here?
I think they always meant to go here because that was kind of part of their plan.
So then why lie about it to the sister? Because that's the only reason they would even be playing into like, we have a house rented, would be to tell the sister who's coming with them. But they know they're going to have to tell her at some point once they're there. And if they told her before, she wouldn't have wanted to go, which she shouldn't have fucking been in the first goddamn place.
Right.
So keeping it from her only is what ends up almost getting her killed.
Yep. The logic is super flawed.
The logic is not there. It's
non-existent.
Yeah. And everything. The guy characters.
Oh my god.
What are the guy characters? Like, I get the kind of like meta wink to that girls in movies or even guys in movies can get those kind of bit parts that get credit titles as Guy 1 and Guy 2. So they literally make them Guy 1 and Guy 2 in the film, which I thought was kind of cute-ish. But like, these characters are completely pointless. But I guess that's the meta nod.
Yes.
Is that girls are only there to hit each other with pillows and show off their bodies. But that's not true in this franchise.
Right.
Like, take the first Slumber Party Massacre, it's all about the girls. The guys are the idiots. The second film, it is absolutely only about the women.
Yes.
And the guys are idiots.
Yeah.
And the third one, it's absolutely about the women and the guys are idiots.
Yes.
So this isn't like some role reversal in that way, where they're like, oh, well, the guys are just the cannon fodder now and are really just kind of the eye candy, and the girls are going to get the meat of it. And they're going to be the ones that best the killer. This has happened in every other one in this franchise. Yeah, maybe you could make that point of other slashers in the subgenre, but not this franchise in which you're remaking.
Right, yeah.
I don't know.
Like they just took this franchise and were like, we're gonna use this one. This is the medium through which we will tell our commentary.
We did get a sort of remake of the guitar from part 2 here. Yes. Without the spikes and without the drill at the end. So it's the non-deadly, it's a non-lethal version of the Driller Killer's guitar from Slumber Party Massacre 2. So huge kudos to them for putting that in this film, for finding a guitar that looks similar to the guitar in the second one that we both love so much. But there's almost kind of like a moment in here where they're trying to say like the original is better than the second because the two weapons go up against each other and the weapon is defeated and actually even used against it. Like, this is a stupid weapon.
Yes, yeah.
And the original is always better.
Right.
That's the way I felt that kind of like,
I can see that.
fencing match went between those two.
I can see that for sure. Which, I mean, it's a shame. I don't know. I love serious slashers, but I think that the funness of Slumber Party Massacre 2 is what makes me love it so much. Like, that it doesn't take itself so seriously. And I think that that's something a lot more movies could do and be way more successful than they are. Like, this one, for example, took itself way too seriously. Even though there was attempts at humor and jokes, like, they all fell flat. I don't think... Okay, I laughed one time in this movie, like, genuinely, and it was in the beginning when their car breaks down and they're all standing there and the mechanic's, like, telling them that they need their hose replaced, and the girl's like, what about this? And he's just like, what's that gonna do? Like, I don't know what that's gonna do. How's that gonna help you? And I laughed at that. I thought it was good. But,
yeah, that was funny.
Otherwise, I don't think we laughed at anything else.
Yeah, because why would they want their car fixed?
They don't.
Why is she trying to flash this guy
They're
to show him her tits in order to get this fixed faster? Because they need the car to break down. Because they're trying to recreate everything, which for what reason I don't know. They're supposed to be doing it exactly. See, okay. Here's what would make sense. If this was supernatural, right? And you had to kind of go by tropes. Almost like Cabin in the Woods, right? Like, you have to go through the motions of all the tropey things that happen in slasher movies in order to invoke the killer to come back from the grave. Like you have to get this character and this character. There's some characterizations that you have, some archetypes that you have to have in your crew. Right? And then you have to do these series of things to bring him there.
That would be really
Then it would
really
have made
cool.
sense
that
they were trying to recreate everything. But in reality, all they needed to do was A, get some guns, and B, just go to where he's at. In a totally functioning car.
Yes.
With more people and better weapons and a better fucking plan.
Yeah. Well, because they even say at some point, they're like, he's killed like 20 women in the last 20 years or something. So it's like...
What was with all the dogs?
I don't know.
I thought he was like eating them.
He was killing them too, but I don't really know why.
She was like, oh, it must be him. Because I saw all the dogs were missing.
I don't know.
What was this? I don't understand that part.
But the point being is that he obviously is killing women. Like, he's obviously just killing people. Like,
why wasn't it missing posters for women?
I don't know. Maybe because it's supposed to be like women are bitches and it's like dogs on there.
Women are dogs?
So women, yeah.
I thought men were dogs. Women are bitches.
Yeah, but like female dogs.
I get it.
I don't know. I'm just stretching here. I'm trying to make sense of it. But
yeah, the dog thing.
It doesn't make sense.
Lost on.
So, yeah, they just needed some guns and a better plan, and they would have been fine. They didn't have to, but they were definitely trying to play the part, which is why they were acting like they needed it fixed, and,
There's another nod to the original here with a telephone van outside of the gas station, which you can barely tell is the telephone van because the telephone is like this big on the side of the fucking van, instead of it just saying like telephone repair company or telephone... company.
It's just a tiny little telephone symbol.
It's like so small on it.
One of the characters' head blocks.
You were like, she kept being like, nah, that's not a telephone van. I'm like, no, it is. I saw it for a second. And she's like, I'm not seeing it. I'm like, and trust me, it's there. And we finally saw it like last second. And I was like, yeah, see? It's an homage. But it's like a blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
She would have never noticed it in a million years. And I don't think most people would have noticed it. And I don't think I would have even remembered it had we not just watched it 2-3 days ago. So there is that. And we already went over they're there on purpose. Right. I don't got anything for that. The whole like guys are there because they're crime scene junkies and they're obsessed with this podcast, but some of them don't even seem like they're there for that. They're like just wanting to like party. But then one of them's into it, but then one of them, like, they both think that they're the killers. And then this guy just, like, gets in his car and drives off, and we never see him again. And the male characters are so pointless.
Yeah, they really are. I have no... I think that the reason for them being there was, like, the most convenient one possible. And, they're supposed to be there for eye candy.
Sure.
Is like the main thing, and like I don't know.
Yeah,
the pillow fight with the feathers, like it's cute. They're like pouring the beer on themselves, and like it goes on for a really long time, which is
they got great bodies.
They're trying to do the same thing, like how
they're trying to do
the slumber party thing, and that's.
I'd rather look at that. I'd rather look at those dudes' bodies than the girls' nipples in part 3.
Yeah, same. But.
I don't know.
But I don't know why. I don't know why the guys. It's just I didn't like any of the characters in this movie at all. Like literally all of them sucked.
God
to me.
No.
Like all the chemistry is so off.
Yeah.
It's just
they're trying so hard to be like
so
funny or cool or edgy.
It's like witty. They're trying to be witty, and it's not written witty, and they don't have the snap, and it's.
They're kind of going for a Final Girls here. I'm sure you've never seen that movie, but it's a movie from a few years back. that I wasn't huge on, but people fucking love that movie, and I'd like to give it another chance. It's PG-13, which is one of the things I really didn't like about it. But it does go for that meta commentary, and it's all about the archetypes, and you know, they get sucked into a slasher movie.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah, I
and
haven't
it's
seen
great
that.
concept.
That's
And that
his,
it's done way better there. It has Tessa Farmiga,
yeah.
right, and Malene Ackerman or whatever from Watchmen or whatever, Heartbreak Kid.
I like the meta thing. I think is cool. I mean, I'm a fan of Scream, and I know you're not, but like that, I think is a really interesting way to go about like talking and discussing a genre. And this film just. They just do it so bad.
Meta's not my issue with Scream.
Right. And I wasn't saying it was. But like, you know, I think it can be really clever, and I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things that I love about Scream. So, but this movie is just, I can't
we
say
keep
enough
just being
about
like,
it.
yeah.
I know, I don't even like,
So then, like, this girl gets almost hit in the eye with a nail. Then the window shatters. Then she stands up, looks out the exact same place in the exact same spot, and says, "Oh my God, that was close." And then you're like, okay, nail hit her in the eye. Nail hits her in the eye, and she's dead. And you're like, wow, I never saw that coming. Like, who the fuck would do that?
Nobody.
There's so many character decisions in this where you're just like, these girls are prepared. These girls are like, we've studied the tropes.
Oh
like,
God.
we know what you should and shouldn't do. They're not prepared. They're not any more prepared than the girls in any of the other movies in this franchise. Or any other fucking, like, slasher movie in the past.
Not at all.
Like, they're supposed to be more prepared because they're there on purpose to hunt a killer. And they're just as dumb. Mm-hmm. They make just as bad of decisions. Mm-hmm. Which maybe's the point. Maybe?
Yeah,
I don't
I guess
know.
in the end, the mom does have to come. It's like a mom battle. Like the moms have to duke it out. It's not really. I mean, they to be fair, they do kill the driller killer, but.
But even that scene where the mom shows up, that scene is so fucking stupid.
It's so dumb.
Because she's like, she's fighting her. There's 3 of them behind her, and she's like, go out to the car, this and that, and it's like. Or you could just help her right now. You could all just 4 pounce on her.
Yes.
But then they do listen. They run out to the car, and I guess there's some kind of a lesbian relationship going on between 2 of these characters, which pauses them in order to have some kind of sweet exchange between one another as she's trying to say, I need to go help my mom, but then just kind of lackadaisically stays there and like swoons over this girl, and then is like, you think they're going to kiss? And if they kiss, man, I think I would just shut the fucking movie off. Because it's like, how much time are you going to waste while your mom... Like, you have time to kiss later.
Yeah.
Kill the girl, then come out and make out with her. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why'd you run it? Why didn't you say, like, you guys go, I'll help her?
Right.
Like, you have an able-bodied one.
Yes.
You're actually the less able-bodied one because you were stabbed recently. So... you have the able-bodied one take her sick sister out to the car, and then you help your mom double team this girl. That sounded like a porno.
Yeah, it did. I was
but you fucking, you go in on her together, you third party her.
You third party her, and then that's...
Just like every match of Apex I've ever played in my fucking life.
Yeah, she wastes so much time leaving, and it's just... when she ends up going back in anyway, it's like, why? Why even do it?
I don't got any more to say.
I don't either. It's a shame. I mean, I was really excited for this, and I was kind of hoping it would spur like more remakes of the second and the third.
Oh, I thought maybe. Yeah, I
sure.
thought maybe this would bleed into a second.
Please, I do not want them to make a second. Although, I don't know, it could still be,
If they make it, I'm not watching it.
If it's,
Unless the trailer was like blowing me away. But this trailer actually looked cool.
It
It looked like it was going to have cool kills. It didn't.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to be a fun throwback to the 80s. It wasn't.
It was not. It was like 80s bad. 80s slashers are awful. They hate women.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost disrespectful. Which is actually one of the things I don't like about the Scream movies. I've always said that. It's almost like they're shitting on what I love. You know, and it's being done by a guy who helped usher in those films.
Yeah. Well, that's...
So I get it, but I'm not... I just don't... I don't like it.
Sure.
I'm not enough with Scream.
We'll
I'm done with
Scream
Scream.
later at some point.
No,
5 hours
go
Scream
away.
discussion.
It's supposed to be dead.
What is this shit?
Yeah, what is this shit? Yeah,
watching
this whole
movie.
time. We should have been TJ from part 2 this whole fucking time.
I am.
God. Anyway, so in case you didn't get it, this movie's not good. We don't approve. We don't recommend. Did you get that? Were we clear enough on that?
No recommend.
And yeah, for what it is, I'm done. I can't talk about this movie anymore.
Me too.
Cool homage to the guitar in 2. Yeah. Everything else, no.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am hopefully going to go watch The Gate 2 so that I can do Monster Monday like I'm supposed to. And hopefully I pressed record on this. Do you imagine?
Oh, no.
We have to do it again. We'll have to do it again.
No.
We're going to do it again.
We would just be like...
I think I drilled in my own fucking head. All right, guys.
Bye.
Adios.